Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between. I am Eli, and tonight, for this special extra session, I will be your host and dungeon master, and we'll be joined by Mikey and Amelia, who are back from their holidays up in the Daintree. So yeah, we're going to continue our way through the campaign I happily call Ogit's Tower. In the last session with Vondruxillia and Turtank, the party finished exploring and looking into the dragon's lair. Ash found that she had burning questions for Isil upon returning to the upper level of the mine. The group found that the entrance had been dramatically changed, as the miners had begun reinforcing and preparing the mine as a defensive position. The party arrived and overheard part of a discussion between Salty, Chenna, Stumpy, and Nezrietta. Chenna, Stumpy, and Nezrietta were trying to get Salty to pack up his tavern and move into the mine to help keep morale up amongst the miners turned rebel fighters. Salty was very reluctant, but agreed after some convincing. But it seems like Salty holds some resentment towards Chenna after he learned that Fornalin, the bard, was working for Isil, who was an agent for the faction Cacophony. Isil revealed that Fornalin has some important information on a couple of items, seemingly of significant power and value, and Isil revealed that the dragons had been compromised. It was likely at the hands of the mysterious Delaminos, the as-yet undiscovered agent of the Originals, one of the three main factions at work in Ogit's Tower. Isil, Crank, and Lever, the two agents from the faction Bulwark that makes up the last of the known active factions, left to discuss matters. Ash, still burning with thirst for knowledge that only Isil could give her, slipped away from the party almost completely undetected by her companions, beginning to stalk Isil in a way almost familiar to her. Unfortunately for Ash, Lever noticed and alerted Isil, the two of them confronting Ash, with Isil putting a blade to Ash's throat. Isil implied that he knows more about Ash and Isil's history than Ash does, and made it abundantly clear that their history is indeed history. He also gave Ash a warning: the longer you stay in Ogit's Tower, the more you will remember. Isil left Ash with only just more answers than questions. However, Isil and what their past might have been is still a complete mystery to her. It was revealed to the group that the captains are mobilizing towards the mine, and there had been a couple of skirmishes already. At Chenna's behest, the group agreed to find Fornalin, and hopefully find these items that she knows about. Leaving the mine and crossing through the quarry, further defensive emplacements were busily being constructed. The group saw Odo the blacksmith very determinedly constructing a new portcullis, with the aid of a group of miners helping with the forge work and assisting. There were also signs of small skirmishes having been fought within the quarry itself, as bloodstains could be occasionally seen. The group also got to hear Nezrietta issuing orders to some of the rebel miners, leaving the group with a sense that the civil war that seems to be starting at least has a glimmer of hope that it won't be instantly crushed. Getting out of the quarry and into Redwater proper, our stairwalkers found a vastly different feel. The town was quiet, and they narrowly avoided running into a couple of captain's patrols. However, they made it to Fornalin's townhouse undetected. Upon investigating the house, the group stealthily entered through the front gate before knocking on the front door, alerting the armed occupants. After fighting their way through and nearly burning the townhouse down, they finally found and secured Fornalin, who happened to turn on Turtank, revealing that Fornalin was actually a doppelganger, and that she had been captured and taken somewhere else. Ash found a note seemingly from one of the Originals, telling someone else to play the captains for fools, implying that the captains and the Originals might not have their goals so closely aligned as first thought. It also mentioned the two items that the Bard supposedly had information on, and that the next target was going to be Maynield, who Chenna advised could be a massive asset to the miners' rebellion. Upon leaving Fornalin's home, the group found themselves paralyzed by a powerful hold person spell, as cast by one Delaminos, who revealed himself to be Desshard, a sly individual that Thaven and Vonir met during their travel through their first level of Ogit's Tower, and the same powerful person that Turtank, Vondruxillia, Ash, and Gramps had a dream about, the same dream where they all watched as Desshard performed some ritual on a series of metallic dragons. And at this point, I'll get Amelia just to jump out of channel for me.
Okay. Foreboding.
Boom, boom, boom. Okay. So, as you come to, you feel your body pressing through a rough and threadbare hammock in a dark chamber. Only a glimmer of torchlight peeks through from under a door set not far from where you lay. The air is cool, still, and smells salty.
You might cut out, buddy.
No, I know. It's alright. And you can hear water trickling down somewhere nearby. Standing up, you hear your feet splash into a thin veneer of water that coats the rough stone floor, and the last thing you remember was your body being paralyzed and watching the world be pulled away from you in a blink of sickly purple energy and the gut-wrenching sensation of instant and unexpected freefall. The chamber you are in is void of any furnishings, and feeling your way around, you understand that the back wall of the chamber is natural stone, whereas the remainder of the walls are roughly cut stone, but despite the lack of care in materials, you find the walls have no real faults. They are incredibly sturdy. The door itself is an iron-banded heavy wooden door, with the hinges a hobbled mishmash of sizes and style, yet remarkably strong and sturdy. The gap at the bottom of the door that is letting weak torchlight through is thin and irregular, and the latch on the door is heavy and locked. You realise you've got none of your equipment in the room with you. Surveying the room, and what you've learned of it so far, it is familiar to you. You begin to remember something. A pleasing memory of you running rampant with a host of children playing pirates as you start to latch onto the memory, your head begins to spin. You try to keep your feet as your vision darkens. Staggering, you fall to your knees, desperately trying to remain conscious. An image begins to swim into view. You see a ship with 3 masts, its sails furled. A green flag with a crudely stitched red orc skull wearing a black tricone hat is fluttering in the breeze from atop the center mast. The image fades and is replaced with the still image of a roll of parchment, weighed down on a desk. Your own hand poised to sign your name at the bottom of a contract. A contract of pardon, you remember. As though through some strange compulsion, you frantically look over that still image, noting a blue dragonborn hand resting at the edge of a desk beside a sleeping cat, just before the image fades. The sound of a stormy ocean, punctuated by screams, splintering timbers, and an unearthly screech that sends waves of fear rolling down your spine. Slowly, as though dazed, your vision clears. You find yourself looking at the same ship, partially destroyed. Your arms are mostly locked to your side by an enormous tentacle holding you high above the deck. You see many sailors, your sailors, injured or dead on the deck and in the water, while many more rush around with harpoons, throwing them at whatever creature holds you. The sound of a massive release and heavy siege weapons firing momentarily precedes the immense and terrifying screech that took your resolve moments before. Struggling and twisting, the creature pulls you towards it, lashing and snapping out with its monstrous beak, while its other tentacles lash at your ship and grab at your men. You struggle to free yourself as it brings you close to that awful sharp beak, managing to free your right arm. As the beak begins to close on you, the vision pauses and slowly fades to black, giving you a perfect view to see the heavily serrated insides of the kraken's mouth, dripping with caustic saliva, the smell filling your nostrils long after the image is gone. The darkness slowly gives way to a dark silhouette of a person. The silhouette, made up of purple and black static. A refined voice fills the space around you. Ah, Turtank, at last we meet. I am Ojit, and welcome to my tower. There is much you must be curious about, my ever-creative friend, but alas, I will give you no answers until you are ready to hear them. You have entertained me greatly. However, for that, I will give you a memory you had lost. I hope it serves you well. You begin to come to groggily, looking around with your dark vision. You can clearly make out the walls, as the memory that started to return before the vision begins to play in your mind once again. Running around with your blue dragonborn friend, causing mischief and forming a formidable crew out of the street kids, you remember finding an ocean cave after a minor earthquake opened a narrow tunnel in the ocean facing cliffside. Happy memories of moving your crew into the cave to escape the scorn of the adults in town. You remember being the strongest of the kids, and them at first jokingly calling you the captain. You recall wearing the name with pride, The memory adjusts, and you remember you as a teenager. You had truly converted the cabin complex into a home for yourself and all the kids that had nowhere to go. Some of those faces you now remember also from the vision of the Kraken attack, injured and broken, but many in your new memory were filled with youthful exuberance. You branched out with your crew to steal only what you needed to survive, including some heavy latches to build what everyone called the brig. You remember building the brig out of necessity. Some of the kids had begun to act out and had gotten violent, causing more harm to your charges. So, by bringing law and order to the crew of budding pirates, you managed to keep them safe. You remember keeping a key hidden in your captain's hat, so that no one in the brig would be far from your mind. Instinctively, you reach up and you feel the brim of the hat, feeling the familiar ridges of a key still hidden in its pouch, and with that touch, you are hit with the blinding realization that you are in the brig of that very cabin complex. So, what do you do?
First, I look for anything around me I could use as a weapon, a loose rock, or maybe the leg of a bench. And whether or not I find one, I see if I can reach around the locked door and unlock it from the inside as quietly as possible.
Okay, so currently the room, as you understand, has the lock on the door. The lock is accessible from both sides of the door, so you don't need to get around the front of the door to unlock it. But there isn't enough of a gap to be able to do that, for especially for your arms. There's only a thin gap between the bottom of the door and the floor. But yeah, so there's no way to get to the front of the door. The door is definitely locked. The room, the chamber itself that you're in, has just this very threadbare hammock stretched across from the wall to the back of the cabin complex door. Cabin complex wall. There doesn't appear to be much in the way of anything you could use as a weapon. Most of the rocks that are around are like pebble size. They're even too small to really be able to reinforce your fist for being able to punch someone. But yeah, there's no other furniture in there, and nothing else of any real note in the room itself. The room itself is pitch black, and the only reason you're able to see is because of your dark vision.
Yes, so there's no one else nearby?
No, you're in the room entirely alone.
Okay, I listen carefully to see if I can notice any sort of noise outside the room, and if there isn't any, then I will try to sneak out of the room by unlocking the door.
Roll me a perception check.
Skill. I have completely forgotten how.
So, skills, down to perception.
Yep.
And then drag that into the chat window. The dice roll.
I'll drag the dice there.
Yeah. So where it says total, drag that over into the thing. Or I think you can even just click on it.
So, now hang on. So
Skills?
I'm at perception.
Yep.
Skills.
Perception.
Yeah.
Across to where it's got the total column. You should be able to click on that button, or just drag it across into the chat window.
There we go. Did that work?
Nope.
13 plus 3, 20.
No, didn't roll
Sorry.
it. If you rolled it onto the main screen, it won't show up. It doesn't count. You need to roll it into the chat window. Into the box where the chat is on the left-hand side.
That's where I put it. Same roll. Did it work?
Nope. So why is your not? Why is that not working? Oh,
There we
okay. I think it's.
I was rolling it too low. Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
Into the team. Okay. So listening out, you don't hear anything. So yeah, reaching up, you manage to extricate the key from the hidden little pouch in your hat. And yeah, you manage to unlock the door quite cleanly. And as much as the lock on the door and the door itself is really heavy and everything is so wet, the lock actuates very smoothly. It doesn't really make any noise, and the door has only the very minorest of squeaks when you pull it open. But otherwise you do start to pull it open. I will get Amelia back in channel.
2 seconds.
Okay, yeah, so, Vondruxillia, you begin to come to. You find yourself laying on a pretty threadbare hammock. The room that you were in is incredibly dark. You can hear the sound of dripping water, and you get the sense that you definitely are underground. Looking around in the room that you were in, you see a very thin band of weak torchlight flickering under a door, being reflected on a thin veneer of water. The door itself appears to be a heavy wooden door, and from what you can tell, your surroundings are stone and pretty natural for the most part. The front wall where the door is does look like it's crafted out of poorly cut but very sturdy stone. So yeah, Turtank, you exit out, and looking around, you see on your left that there is another door leading.
Sorry, am I in the room with Turtank?
No, you were in the room
good.
entirely on your own. So yeah, Turtank, stepping out of the room that you were in, you do see that there is another door, and a little bit further down there is another one. The hallway itself is torch lit, but the torches are pretty far spread apart, and the lighting is quite dim. You remember this to be the brig. You remember the three chambers that you effectively had built to help to tame the more unruly from your memory, and you remember it quite well. So yeah, you know that those two other doors also to fairly similar chambers. You don't know if things have changed, or if there is any difference, or if what you're looking at is exactly the same or very similar, but it to you it feels identical.
Okay, I creep around looking for anyone else locked in the brigs.
Okay, so I guess you're going to the first door?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So as you get to the first door is indeed is locked, and oops, something I didn't do. Good. Yep. Okay. Yeah. So the first door. Why didn't that populate? Damn it. Okay. Maybe just a second. Yes, that's better. That's much better. Okay. Sorry guys. I opened the wrong one.
Good.
place. I did have this already. I promise. Okay. Right.
Just saying, if Turtank is checking the 2 doors and I'm in behind one of those 2 doors and I can hear someone scuffling outside the door, would it be safe to assume that I would probably get on the defense about this?
Potentially. I will get you to roll me a perception check.
That's me. I totally know where this is.
It's in your skills.
Wait, you can hear me?
Yes.
Oh shoot, okay, push to talk isn't working. Yeah. Well, that's a bummer. Push to talk
Okay.
isn't working?
So yeah, you rolled a 16. So yeah, I would say that yeah, you'd hear a slight rustle as something metallic is being quietly inserted into the door. So yeah, you react as you will.
Okay.
Noting that you don't have any of your equipment on you. There is
I haven't got my bear trap.
no, there is nothing.
Oh.
You have nothing on you. Like you're just wearing your clothes, and that's it.
Okay. I'm gonna like. If the door opens inwards towards me,
Yep.
I will likely get to the point where the door will open and I'll be hidden by the door.
Okay. Because of how dark everything is, you don't know which direction the door is opening, and you don't know what side the hinges are on. So
Okay.
you
I'll just
tell-
get in a basic defensive stance.
Yeah, okay.
Cool.
No worries. So, yeah, Turtank, you open up the door and you, with your dark vision, you would see the room as you kind of remember it. The big difference is there is a blue dragonborn currently standing quite defensively.
And I
And
pounce!
what are you trying to do?
I don't know. Jump at the thing that just walked into the room in the place I don't know what's happening.
I try to shut the door.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Both you roll a d20.
Oh well.
Yay!
I have a door slammed in my face.
Yeah. So, yeah. With a Turtank rolling a 10, so yeah, to Vondruxilla's 6. Turtank seems to
Stop
be.
pounding on the door. Let me out!
Yeah, so Turtank, what do you do?
I say, I'm gonna open the door. Don't breathe fire or lightning. No magical zappy zaps of any kind.
Turtank, is that you?
Maybe.
Okay. Alright. Backing away.
I opened the door big enough for me to put one eye in to see if she's trying to.
Whose eye
Cast a
is
spell.
that?
Yeah. So you open the door.
I opened the door.
And yeah, you get a good look, and that's what you see. You see Vondruxilla kind of looking at you. However, Vondruxilla is looking at you. What are you doing?
I'm like, composed myself again, and I'm like, cool, okay. So, where are we?
We're in the brig. I helped build this place when I was a munchkin, looking after the other munchkins.
Wait, you've been here
And-
before?
Yes, I helped make it. Now, we were really good pirates until we got completely messed up by this Krakeny thing. So, I'm learning a lot of new things, but I remember where we are, and I think I know where the brink is.
The brink. Okay.
Oh, sorry, not the brink. We're in the brink.
Where-
I think we should head towards the armory, if there is one,
No.
and try to retrieve our stuff, and we should be sneaky beaky about it, just in case whoever put us here is hostile.
So you would remember that there was... Actually, you wouldn't remember. All you remember is the brig. You remember that there was a cavern, and you remember spending time in it, but you don't remember the layout, and you don't remember anything other than the brig. That's all it seems that you were granted as far as the memory, and the key that you use to unlock the door to the brig.
Right.
So, yeah. You... as an interesting point, I have to ask, what happened to Vondruxilla's Russian accent?
It got hard to keep up.
Oh, okay.
And she got teleported. She's now just Oka.
Okay. Vondruxilla's had a cultural change. Fair enough.
Yeah. Don't be cultureless, man. Don't be cultureless.
Oh, not at all. Fair enough. That's fine. Okay, yeah, so you two are together and you...
And now in an empty room again.
Yes. Looking
Cool.
around the room, you do see that this is... Turtank, you would recognize it as being laid out exactly the same as the previous room. And this particular room, now that you're taking a little bit more of a look, everything is very dark and dim. Vondruxillia, you are having a very difficult time in looking around at the moment. Yeah, Turtank, you recognize the hammocks. They look significantly more worn and a lot more threadbare than you remember them being when you put them in. But you remember discussing with one of your friends the need to have bedding of some variety that isn't in the water for people, for the other kids that needed to be put in the brig. It's quite amusing to you that they are the same. But yeah, as far as that, that's pretty much it in the room. It's very... It has the sense of a place that is meant to be secure.
Okay. Is there an obvious, like, I mean, there are doors around? Like, is there a way to get out of here?
Yeah, so there's the door that leads into that room, and then like a kind of an open sort of cavern sort of complex further on out. Oh, that might explain what's going on. Oops.
Redwater Originals.
I'm like wondering why you guys aren't sort of reacting or
You're
interacting.
like, what do we do?
That makes a little bit more sense. It might help if I actually get to enchant them then. Oh well.
Like, why am I explaining a room to people here?
Kind of, like...
Alright, so it's still loading, but you told me there was like a cavern, like not a cavern, like an archway kind of thing.
Yeah, so basically you're in a room. It has a rough stone wall. The outside rear of the wall you imagine to be the natural cavern itself. There is a doorway that Turtank is currently standing in. It's probably about 10 feet away from where you are at the moment. And then outside you can see there is a little bit of torchlight. The main thoroughfare is not brilliantly lit up, but the room you are currently in is very dark. As an interesting point, you both feel very well rested. So,
That is a very interesting point.
you don't know how long you've been unconscious for, but you are rested.
Okay. So everything goes up again. How do I do this? So, just as when I get row wested, my star. Oh, I don't have my staff on me, do I?
No.
Damn. But it still would be up to the thing again. Oh god. Okay, it's okay. Okay, so map's still loading, I think.
It is the
Computer's
bottom
working out. There it
bottom
is.
right-hand corner. It is a fairly large map.
Awesome. Okay, so this is where we are. Awesome, I get it now. Okay, so yeah, so basically behind Turtank is the direction we need to go.
It seems to be the only direction that is left to go. So yes.
Yes, so I confidently stride past him and go, this is the way, we'll get there eventually, we'll find our stuff. And I waltz past him and I grab a torch along the way, and because there are torches on the wall, right?
So there are sconces on the wall. There are no torches in them. The sconces themselves just seem to be almost abused as braziers, wall-mounted braziers. There is basically just sticks and shit stuffed into them, and they're burning away on the wall. It's not really something that you could just pick up and carry with you.
I was in a hammock, right?
Yes. So
can I just like rip a piece of the hammock off and light it?
Sure. So you tear a section of the hammock free and set fire to it. It immediately goes up in flame.
No, not that part. Is there like a stick part to the hammock?
A stick part. Okay, yeah. So breaking that free, it takes a little bit of effort, but yeah, you do manage to break the harder section free, and get it over to the flame. It smolders. It doesn't seem to catch light.
Oh.
It's quite damp.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, the whole chamber, even though you were off the ground, it does seem like the air is very still and very moist, and the material is quite dry only because it's such a large, thin, open section. So the material burns very easily, but the timber seems to take on a lot more moisture. It's not going to burn easily.
Well then, into the darkness.
As a point of note, you don't have your spell book on you, so you can't cast any level 1 or higher spells, but you do still understand and know your cantrips. You don't require your spell book to cast your cantrips.
Oh, wicked! That's good.
So yeah, you guys are moving on out of the room. Turtank, you know there is a third room, like the doorway just off to your left, from where you are. What are you guys doing?
I'm going to hang on.
I'm gonna peek in the room and look for food or people I can eat.
Okay.
I wanna cast until the spell ends. I'm gonna cast light.
Yep. What are you casting it on?
I'm gonna touch Turtank. He's gonna glow.
Okay.
I have dark vision. I can see. If I get flying, you won't be able to see.
So here's the thing about dark vision, right? Dark vision.
Oh, he has dark vision.
Yes. So.
Oh no, that's really bad.
No, actually, here's the thing. Dark vision isn't superior to regular vision. If someone with dark vision has basically sees darkness as dim light and dim light as bright light. But here's the thing. Dealing with dark vision, everything is black and white. You can't see colors, you can't see a lot of that sort of stuff. So you can only see everything in like grayscale. So there are a lot of things that you could potentially miss when viewing the world exclusively in dark vision.
Okay.
Um,
I still might just grab a piece of cloth and make that a light because I think Turtank shouting like a beacon is going to attract unwanted attention.
fair enough. Okay, so going back in there, you could tear off a piece.
Yeah, just grab some cloth. Just tear it
Yep.
off.
And so yeah, you cast light on the cloth. You currently can see around. It's like as if you're carrying a torch. Yeah. So looking around, and with that, actually roll me a perception check.
Oh, wicked. Okay.
Yep. Turtank, are you trying to open this door quietly? Are you just like, what are you trying to do? Turtank?
Yes, I'm trying to open the door quietly. There's
Okay.
something going on with my map. I got distracted.
Right. Okay. So just roll me a stealth check, please.
Nope, I cannot do that.
Yes, you can. I'm asking
The
you to.
map, it's frozen. There we go.
Oh. I'm still asking you to.
You had to push the. Oh, never mind.
Ta-da!
Okay. Yeah, so you find this door. Vondruxillia, it's a pretty dark, damp cabin complex.
Yep.
So yeah, Turtank, you manage to open this door. Now, when you open the door and peek in, you can see a rather annoyed looking tiefling. Oops, didn't do that. Just waking up, looking at you, quite annoyed. She's definitely seems like she's not particularly happy with where she is. But yeah, you do see her. She's kind of currently looking at you with the look of someone who's expecting an explanation.
I say, hello, I'm Turtank. I don't know why you're here. You want to come find some food?
She just kind of like rubs her temples, like the kind of look that she has is of someone who's very disappointed, and it definitely has the kind of look on her face of someone who thinks she is well and truly above her current company. But she stands up and says, "Fine, let's go." And yeah, so she stands up, and then as soon as her feet hit the thin water, she kind of looks down, completely disgusted that her boots are wet, and then she quickly moves her hands around her body to take stock of her position. But she does seem somewhat. She doesn't seem friendly, but she doesn't seem like she's about ready to attack you. She's seems to be taking in the situation.
Okay, well, I go in the only direction I haven't explored yet and continue on.
Alright.
Hopefully she's quiet, because I give her the shh face. So,
Okay.
I do the sneaky beaky walk.
Alrighty then. So, if you're going stealthily, I'll get everyone to roll me a stealth check.
Da-da-da.
Turtank, give no chill.
So Turtank is here sort of like walking along, trying to be very stealthily, but every time he sees a puddle, he can't help himself. He like jumps into the puddle. He is definitely anything but stealthy, but he seems pretty content. So as you guys are walking on down, you which, by the way, Vondruxillia, you see this reddish-skinned tiefling woman with a tail flicking around everywhere, looking somewhat confused and agitated at her current state of affairs. And she definitely seems like she's still waiting for someone to explain what is going on.
How you going?
So, she looks at you and sort of like, kind of just blinks really slowly. Like, right. Then she kind of says, in quite a hoity sort of manner, she goes, well, an introduction would be nice.
Oh, yeah, right. I'm Vondruxillia.
I'm Turtank, and I wish I left you locked in your cell.
Yeah.
Right. Well...
You're alright there. You seem to speak and blink a little bit slow. Everything okay?
She kind of just like looks at you, sort of again, kind of almost in a way that makes it sort of seem like she's waiting for the punchline of a joke. And she says, well, if I have to travel with you till work out where I am, then my name is Mayneild. And I very much don't want to be wherever this is. So, if it means...
Yeah, neither do we. I have no idea where we are.
Well, if it means we get out of here, then perhaps we should work together. I trust that you two can handle yourselves.
I look over to Turtank. Well, yeah. As long as somebody stops jumping in puddles.
Can't help it.
We'll be fine.
Yeah, with that, she kind of like looks at Turtank and looks back at you. She looks like she's agreeing with you, but almost out of principle is not saying anything. And yeah, so she looks ahead and...
One sec.
So she had to take a phone call. So you can carry on and we can
Yeah.
go in, or we can pause.
No, that's okay. We'll carry on because there's stuff to get through. So yeah, as you guys continue walking on ahead, you see just down.
Oh yeah, no, thanks, bye. Cool, nah.
Just.
Sorry, I'm back.
That's right. So as you guys continue along, you see just down in here a stack of equipment all just sort of like dropped down. It kind of looks like it's been half ruffled through, but more like it's just been ruffled through in the way like everything's just been dumped there, like someone's going to go and sort it out later on. Turtank, you definitely notice your axe is laying in amongst all of that, and you both pretty quickly realize that that's probably all of your gear. So
Wait! Nobody move!
I run for it.
Where's Kitty?
as an interesting point, you don't know.
Turtank goes berserk. Starts throwing things around. Where is Kitty?
Right. Well,
Terra!
while you're doing this, there is absolutely no sign of Terra. Like, you haven't seen Terra at all. I'll get you both to roll a perception check.
Oh wow.
Hello.
Alright, so as you go to start ruffling through frantically, trying to find everything, you can hear some voices coming in your direction. You can hear that someone's talking about someone's talking about Desshard having taken the elites to raid the captains. You know, someone else turns around and says, well, as long as I don't have to go near that troll, they keep getting asked to clean out the interrogation room, but fuck that troll. I don't want anything to do with trolls.
Okay, so our gear's on the ground.
Yeah.
So we have all our gear back.
Well, you
Hear
would.
voice.
Okay, so you're hearing the voices close by. They do sound like they're coming towards you. You could take the time to rifle through and pick up all your gear, or what? But it does sound like the voices are coming towards you, and you can hear the steady, like, footfalls of people walking across a somewhat slick with water surface.
Perfect. Can I see my bear trap?
Roll a wisdom check for me. Just flat wisdom.
Flat wisdom. Where is it? There it is. I think this is right. Near.
Okay.
I got a 9.
You do, for starters, you do see your bear trap, but you're not sure how close the group is.
Yeah, but it takes a while to set up.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so what are you guys doing?
I grab my axe and I try to find a good ambush spot for the people that are clearly locked us up and might have tasty food for us to eat.
Well, as a point of reference, you do notice that. Hold on. Oops. Might help if I do it from here. Let's go. Oops. Didn't mean to do it that way. Let's try it. Third time's the charm. There is a corner right next to you. So, and it does sound like the voices are coming from around the corner somewhere.
Okay, so even so, running along just near where that corner is probably seems like a best ambush spot. I'm happy to make as little noise as possible and just go to the ambush spot because I've got my cantrips.
Right.
So I'm pretty happy with just kind of getting over there.
Okay.
I look to, what's her name again?
Menilde.
Menil. Looks to Menil and I go, are you gonna help us ambush or what do you want to do?
She just kind of like huffs. Doesn't seem particularly inclined to answer one way or the other. She's, for all intents and purposes, basically cleaning out under her nails. She's really, really quite unimpressed with the whole situation.
Look, princess, if you don't want to help us, you can go back to your cell.
Well, aren't you a hoity one?
No, I want to live.
Well, shut your trap and look after yourself. So Turtank's grabbed his axe. He started heading over. Vondruxillia, you're heading over as well. Manilde's looking over there. And at that, I will get you all to roll initiative.
No, it's on the middle of your main page.
Yep.
18.
Right. So, you are all here. Someone pipe up and say, "Oi, who was that?" And yeah, then a guy comes running around the corner and sees Turtank and immediately goes to swing with his mace. That's a crit hit.
Oof.
Bloody hell.
Oh dear. Okay. So he comes running around the corner and swings at you, and he lands a pretty hefty blow straight into your shoulder, and you feel that your shoulder is broken. He just come in and slammed straight into your shoulder. And you are actually you're actually stunned for 2 rounds.
Bloody hell.
Jesus.
Yeah, so that's most unfortunate. And yeah, so he ended up dealing 11 points of damage to you. And he yells out, "They're out! Come on, they're out!" Vondruxillia, you're up next.
Alright, I guess I chuck a firebolt at the guy.
The firebolt? Yep.
Yeah, well, I'm on top of the pack. Is my spider one there?
So yeah, you do find your staff there. Yep.
Sweet, giant insects.
There are no insects in this cabin.
Ah, damn. Okay, cool. Okay, so I have my spider one. That's cool. I'm gonna check firebolt. I've turned a blank on how to do this again, so I'm gonna.
So you roll the attack.
Hang on, Here we go. Ah, there we go. Yep, sweet, cool, got it. Boom.
Now just. Alright. No worries. So, yeah, that's a 21 hit. Roll your damage.
What? Yeah.
That's. Okay. You actually need to roll it onto the target. So, I'll do it this time, that's fine. But yeah, just when you roll your attack and your damage and everything else, roll it onto the actual target.
Oh,
for
yeah,
me.
sorry. Yeah,
That's
no
alright.
worries.
I know you're out of practice, it's fine.
It's been like a day.
Right. So yeah, he takes the firebolt quite solidly. Yeah. So Turtank, you are currently stunned. Actually need to add that effect. Stunned, and it is actually 1 round now because that happened before your round come up. So yeah. Actually, no, not thug 6, thug 8. Alright, so
Oh, Jesus.
number 8 comes running around, and he looks over and sees that the Turtank is currently like holding onto his shoulder, looking quite dazed and stunned. And this thug then lifts up his crossbow and fires it at Vondruxillia. That's a 14, it hits, and that's 8 points of damage. Vondruxillia, fair enough. Okay. Now it's Maynild's turn. Maynild looks out and looks quite annoyed at the whole situation, and she pulls out from in her belt a really small spell book of some variety, and throws her hand up, and is she going to do this? Yeah, she's gonna do this. So, no, let me move the actual thing. So, she casts begins casting a spell aimed down towards the very back of the cabin, and let's see. Oops, no, she's technically neutral. And then that's 2 failures and a success. And yeah, a bead of fiery power goes sailing out towards the back corner, slamming into the wall, erupting in a fireball. The fire front races out towards you, Turtank. You look up, momentarily concerned, but the fire front stops just before it actually gets to you. Yeah, that was that one. Okay, and next up, Thug 2. He comes running around the corner, coughing and spluttering, looking really quite hurt. And he pulls out his crossbow and levels it at Turtank, launching, and yeah, lands the hit. And then that's another 2 points of damage. Yeah. Now, Thug 6, having seen the spell come from this woman at the back, he's going to run over towards. Technically, should be there. Run over towards Maynhild and go to attack her. Unfortunately, because you are stunned, Turtank, you can't make an attack of opportunity. So he does manage to land the hit on Maynhild, and she seems to roll with it pretty well, but yeah, he does land a reasonably decent hit on her. Vondruxillia, your turn.
I kind of like close my mouth after I've been gaping in awe at the spell that Maynhild threw out, and I turn to the thug who's at Thug 6.
Yep.
And I throw another firebolt.
Yep. Okay.
So let me go to the firebolt thing, and I've got to roll it on him.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. Hit.
Okay.
And damage.
Yeah. So he's looking pretty rough. But yeah. All right. Turtank, you recover from your stunned state. Your arm is that'd be your left arm. Your left shoulder is currently broken and basically hanging loosely. I'll still let you use your wait. Is it a two-handed axe? I think it's a two-handed axe. Let's just have a look. Is it a two-handed or is it a battle axe? That's the question. It is a two-handed axe. Okay, so I'll still let you use your two-handed axe, but it will be at disadvantage because you're effectively swinging it with one hand.
Okay. I go into a rage.
Right.
And
So when you do that, drag that onto yourself. The effect. So that it actually puts it into the combat tracker.
did that.
No. Not that one. Never mind. Oops. Remove that.
I know character. There we go.
How about now?
Nope. Why is that not working? Okay, something's going on there. I will have to sort that out. Because it's supposed to do all your rage damage and everything else. That sucks. I don't know why that didn't save. And I don't know why I don't have that over here. What's your rage damage?
Should be +2.
+2. Okay.
It says +3 actually, proficiency. Because I'm level 6 now.
Yeah, okay, so +3. Okay, so I will have to work that out after. I don't know why that did not save. Because there's supposed to be rage effect on that. Okay, doesn't matter, I'll deal with that later. We'll just add +3 to your damage rolls. Okay. And I'll have to manually reduce your damage. That actually kind of sucks. Alright, no worries. So yeah, you were raging.
Rage forward, straight at Thug 2, just over the head, full power, hopefully. Yep,
Is
just
it
like that.
reckless?
Ooh. No.
Okay, so just roll it with disadvantage.
I have. Sorry to be a pain, I've forgotten how to do that. Main page or
Bottom left, you've got the disadvantage and advantage buttons. Bottom left of your screen.
disadvantage? Yep. Okay.
Yep, so click that and then just roll your attack damage.
So roll a 20.
No, roll the actual dice from your weapons in your actions page for the appropriate thing. So it'd be your vicious great axe.
Ability. Inventory.
Actions down the very bottom right.
There we go. Sorry,
Yep.
not bad.
That's alright.
This is great axe. Rolling.
Onto the target you want to attack. That's a hit. That's actually impressive that you still rolled a hit on a 7. And yeah, roll your damage.
I think it did.
No, that's the hit. That's the attack. You still need to roll the damage. Roll the damage onto Thug 2.
Right next.
On the guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's already calculated his damage. Okay, no worries. And you've got multi-attack. You can attack him again.
Yay. Is he still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive.
Okay.
If you mouse over it, it tells you like how much health he's got. It's at disadvantage, so roll
that
again.
was damage though. That was the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Disadvantage. Nope.
No. Yeah. When you roll it, you still have to roll it onto the person. See, the first time you did it, it had attack 12 at Thug to hit. Didn't have that on the second one. You didn't actually roll it onto his token.
Okay, would you like me to do it?
Yeah,
or-
just do it again. That's fine. At disadvantage.
Ah. Did that work?
You just rolled the damage.
I'm on fire.
Okay, so that was a miss. So I need to add back the 8 hit points on Thug 2. Oh, and I got to add the 3 onto him from. Let's see. So what's that? Take 5 off. Okay. So. Okay. And Thug 8's turn. Seeing you like coming out at him, he's going to swing at you with his mace. And actually, he gets advantage due to pack tactics.
Oh, that's like 90 degrees. Okay.
It's pack tactics. Yeah, so he hits you and deals 4 reduced to 2. So I will fix that up. Alrighty. Maynild's turn. Looking at her situation, she's yeah, she's understandably a little bit concerned for herself. So she casts Mage Armor on herself, and yeah, that's her turn.
What did she cast?
Mage Armor.
Oh, Mage Armor.
Yep. So, Thug 2's turn. Being pretty annoyed that you're beating him stupid with a great axe using one hand, he swings out at you, gets pack tactics, that's a hit. And that's 4 reduced to 2. Then Thug 6's turn. He's going to swing out at Mayneld again. And does manage to hit her. For a pretty solid hit. She's taken a good blow to the head just then. Doesn't look nearly as bad as this guy, but yeah. Vondruxillia, you're up.
Alright, so I'm going to throw Firebolt at Thug 8.
Yep.
Because Turtank's up against 2 people right now.
No worries. That's a hit.
Yeah. Doing that.
And yeah, he dies. The firebolt races into him, slams into his chest, scorching him and leaves him short of breath. And then he looks down and realizes that it's punched into his chest and has actually started to cook his heart. He dies.
Yes.
Let's just do that. And any movement?
I'm going to probably what I want to do because Turtank's in a pretty good position right now to see what's ahead of us in that direction.
Ah, that's a valid point.
Yeah,
So-
I want to kind of get to a place as well where I can see what's happening. So I might just go like 2 squares to the right of Turtank, where I'm still like, you know, can still attack both parties, but you know, I want to see what's going on.
Yep. Okay. 2 squares to the right.
Sweet.
Alright, there you go. And
We are assuming that we've already picked up all our gear, right?
no, you haven't had time to pick up all of your gear.
Nice.
Basically, you picked up you picked up your staff. Turtank picked up his axe, and they come around the corner.
Yeah, sweet.
Turtank, your turn.
I just straight up yell out, whirlwind super attack, and just try to do a 360, just loosely chop him with the axe with one wild arm.
So that's a reckless attack, yeah?
No, because I need the accuracy and I'm already disadvantaged.
Okay, so the thing is with Reckless, Reckless gives you advantage on your attack roll, but any attack rolls against you until your next turn are made with advantage. It doesn't take away your attack roll. It's not. That's not that one.
I was thinking of something else.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Okay, well-
yeah. So,
So if I reckless attack, and I have a disadvantage because of my busted arm, do I roll a normal attack?
a normal roll, yes.
Done. Okay, yes, I would like to do
Okay.
Take this stuff too.
And yeah, so you land the hit. Now roll your damage. Yeah, so you you manage to cleave his arm off, and like he starts looking at his arm as it hits the deck, and looks at you like still attacking with a two-handed great axe using one hand, and he just looks absolutely impressed and amazed and dead. The light fades from his eyes as he falls forward, no longer breathing. Yeah.
Second attack.
So yeah, you could race on over to the other one if you wanted to.
That's it. And I'm just trying to golf swing my
Alright.
axe up his butt.
Okay, so because you're attacking him from behind, you get a +2 to your attack, so you hit the +2 button.
+2 to attack. +2 to attack.
So bottom left, where it's got advantage, disadvantage, hit the +2, and then roll your
Yep.
attack roll. I'm guessing it's still going to be reckless.
Normal, yes.
Yep, so do a normal roll.
Yes. 10. Miss.
That's a miss, unfortunately. Yeah, okay. And Maynield, looking at how you guys have dealt with them two, she seems slightly impressed, but she reaches down and pulls from her, like grabs onto the tongue of her boot and pulls on it. And when she pulls on it, she the tongue of her boot elongates into a dagger shape, which then forms a metallic sheen to it. Then she tries to stab the thug with it. Manages to stab him. And yeah, stabs him clean in the throat, retracting the blade and then wiping it on his tunic as he falls to his knees before sliding the dagger back into her boot, where it forms the tongue of her boot again. And that takes us out of initiative. Yeah, so you managed to kill the three of them, and all is good and great.
Hooray! Okay, I'm gonna get my stuff from the pile and loot the bodies.
Okay.
Am I in a position to just sniff out a health potion and see if it fixes my arm a little bit?
Okay. Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Where are we? Let's have a look. You have initiative. Okay. Button. Who's got the button? Let's see. What have you got? Yeah. Okay. So digging through all the items and everything else that's there, you do find everything. There is nothing missing, and yeah, sure enough, you do have a potion in there. So you can drink it away. So roll 2d4, and we'll add 2, and that's your hit points.
I've forgotten how to roll too, but I'm just gonna roll.
4. Oh, look at that. That's a good roll.
Lovely. Okay.
Okay, yeah. So 2d4, so you add 6 hit points. And yeah, you do find that your shoulder does seem to heal itself back up. It does feel...
+2?
Yeah, so 6 hit points. 10 hit points.
Yes.
Yeah, so your shoulder definitely does feel stiff. And it's probably going to take a couple of days before it feels perfect, but it's definitely not broken. It's definitely usable. You don't think it's going to impede you in any way, shape, or form.
Cool.
Okay,
So-
I'm up. No. You gotta
Wait.
take it away. Take it away.
What
Take
did I
away
do?
the 10.
Take
Yeah,
away.
it's...
that's
it's-
wound damage.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
Cool. I just saw his health go to heavy, and I'm like, no.
I think you did stuffed up right there.
I drank the wrong potion.
I'm actually going to drink my potion as well.
Right, okay.
So I just do 2d4s as well.
Is it a regular healing potion?
It just says potion.
Did you mark off your potion, Turtank?
Oh, I will do that. I had 2, so now I have 1.
Okay.
I have 1 and I'll have 0 now.
Let me just have a quick look at your potion.
Okay.
Let's have a look, because...
If it's the same stats of his, I'll use it. If it's more, I won't use it.
Okay, this is a potion where you're not sure. It is a vial of red liquid, and it shimmers when it's agitated. And...
I dare you to drink it.
I'll drink it.
Okay, tasting the potion before actually drinking it, it seems pretty potent.
Oh, okay. Let's not drink it.
So, and you get a sense of what it is.
Which is a health potion?
No, it's in your inventory now.
Oh, sweet, cool, awesome. We're good. Yeah, we'll save that for later. That is not important right now. Cool, okay, well, I'll just stay on moderate, but I'll pick up all my gear.
Alright, yep. So, Maniel turns around and says, well, you handle yourself surprisingly well. It was a hefty blow that you took, Green One. But there is no finesse.
I thought that twirl at the end was pretty cool.
Yes, well, you wouldn't have gotten hit if you had a little bit more finesse.
What, like you?
Well, that's fair. That's fair. However, I believe only one of them approached you at all.
Turtank has
You're
much
welcome.
more important things to worry about. I'm off to find my cat. I pick up all my stuff, I put my axe over my shoulder, and I sneak off.
Alright, so...
By jumping in puddles.
okay, so with that, roll me stealth checks.
All of us?
If you're trying to be stealthy, yeah.
Sure. I just stealth. Better. Hey!
Sneaky,
You're stealthy!
Maynield seems to be...
She stepped in the bucket?
No. She seems to be quite petulant. She's watching you two sneak off, and every time you guys turn around and face the direction, she just seems to kick a rock into water, and it makes splashing noises and whatnot. She doesn't appear to be too impressed with the whole situation, but yeah, so you guys are moving on forward. So you get into this hallway, and you do notice that there is a door here. Let me do this. Oops. That was bad. Whatever. That'll do. Whatever. So there is a door there, and a little bit further up, you also notice there is another door on your left as well. Are you going to keep walking past? Are you stopping and check them? What are you doing?
Check the door.
Check the door.
Always check the door.
Okay.
I make SWAT signals as if I know what I'm pretending to. Tap my hat, rub my belly.
I fear that he actually just needs to go to the bathroom, and I step well away from him.
Right. Okay, so which one are you trying to check out first?
The one closest to us. And after my signals have clearly gotten through, I just open the door and rush in as quickly as I can.
Alright, so you do open the door and you do rush in as quickly as you can, and for that, roll me initiative.
Fuck! I'm gonna surprise them. They just weren't expecting it. Okay.
Do we as well?
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Just Everyone roll initiative.
Oh wow, yeah, sweet, cool. Thanks, Turtank.
Um,
Da-da-da.
Well, at least you apparently are going first.
Ambush tactics.
Yeah.
so yeah, you're ripping open the door. You which your rage is faded off by this point. Ripping off the door, you do see this large stitched together individual that has a very stylistically and uselessly, it serves no purpose whatsoever, the words Desshard dos Delaminos stitched into its chest in very fancy calligraphy, but doing nothing but just looking pretty. Yeah, so you see that, and it looks at you and immediately comes charging forward. So yeah, it seems like it was, holding an action. It was waiting. And...
One initiative.
Sorry?
Only one initiative. I thought, yeah, I got the jump on him.
Well, initiative's one thing, but there was enough noise being made and everything else. It knew it was there. It's also pre-programmed to have an action if someone opened the door.
Yeah.
So it attacks you twice.
Oh, god damn it.
That both are hits. Yeah, so you're you take a pretty good solid hit. Now it's your turn. It's dead quiet while it does this.
Just thunk thunk.
Yeah, it doesn't move its mouth or anything. It just rushes over. You hear the heavy footfalls as it charges towards you, punching heavily with two massive meaty fists.
Okay.
Actually,
I'm trying to find out if I have rages left or not.
it will be on your page. Need to do. That's fine.
Well, if I just woke up in the cell, does that
Yeah,
mean
your
have
rages.
raise?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Very well. Then I fly into it. And
Oh, and for the record, your rages. If you look on the left of where it says rage, it's got the 4 little circles. There you go. You just click the little circle and it does the thing. Yeah, so you're currently raging. Cool. All right. So you're raging
there
away.
we go. It worked that time.
No, I didn't actually put the effect on you, so I've got to fix that still.
Okay. All right, and I swing at him.
Yep. Are you doing
Yeah,
reckless or?
There's only one of him, and yep, screw it, reckless.
Okay, so roll with advantage.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
that's not working.
you have to roll it on his token.
Here we go. There we go.
That's a hit.
Sweet.
Roll your damage. Okay.
Wow.
Second attack.
Wait a second. Hold on.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Hold on. That's not
That's
right.
OP golem
that's
right there.
No, that's not right. It is resistant, but
Not that much.
not immune. So it should take 5 points of damage plus the 6 from rage, which wouldn't be resistant to. Sorry, the 3 from rage, which wouldn't be resistant to, so 8. Yeah. need to have a look at that and see why that's doing that. Okay, yeah, so you have your second attack.
Right. Does that get advantage too or not?
Yeah, Reckless is toggled basically. That's a crit hit.
Whoa.
Unfortunately.
Yes, crit means I can have another attack with my bonus ability.
Yeah, that's okay. Just roll the damage first up. And roll the... Hold on. Okay, so that actually worked that time, so that's good, but I've got to take the 14 off because you've got to use the Vicious Great Axe critical hit roll for that. Because the Great Axe has a thing on it. So let me just take that 14 off. Alright, roll the other one.
1 second, because Vicious Great Axe says 1d12 plus 2.
Yep.
And Vicious Crit Great Axe.
Yeah, that's
says
the one you need to
2d6.
roll. It's
Okay.
the crit effect from the Great Axe. When you do critical with the Vicious Great Axe, it deals additional damage. So you roll that one when you deal a critical hit.
That doesn't seem quite right. It doesn't add up.
Okay, hold on. Let me just double check the item
Numbers.
super quick. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, sorry, I lie. When you deal a critical hit, it deals an extra 2d6 damage. So it does the 14 plus the 2d6.
Oh, excellent.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
So that's my bad. So I need to add 14 onto that. So. Yep, okay, now you have your trait. Roll away.
My trait, my bonus thing, yep.
Yep.
And advantage.
That's another hit.
Just choppy.
Yeah, so you put some pretty serious damage down on this thing.
Excellent. I'm gonna die, but it's worth it.
Okay, now it's the troll's turn. Now, just repeat that. Okay.
Is it the golem's turn if the mages haven't attacked yet?
Yeah, because it was holding its action. You run in, its action triggered, then it was your turn, then it had a 14 on initiative, so it is its turn. And yeah, it swings out at you. It's one that's hit, and second one that's also a hit.
Medic!
Okay, now I'm just gonna roll these here because I've got to halve them anyway. So it's reduced to 5. 10 reduced to 5, so you take 10 points of damage.
That was reduced, holy shit.
So yeah, you're in a pretty bad spot at the moment, but yeah.
Yep.
Vondruxillia, you can clearly see that Turtank is attacking something and is getting pummeled. You see flashes of big heavy flesh, but from where you're currently standing, you don't have a great sight of what's going on.
Okay. So, can I see that Turtank is in a lot of trouble?
You can see that he's like really
Yeah.
hurt. Like,
Am I able to like shove my potion down his mouth?
yeah,
As an action.
it would be your action. but
Yeah. I'm happy to have that as my action.
Okay.
I'll run over to Turtank, scream, "Get out of the doorway so we can attack whatever's in there," and shove the bottle of potion down his throat.
Okay, so that's 4d4 plus 4.
Cool.
Okay.
Do I roll that or does he?
You roll that.
Okay, so 4d4 plus 4. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just roll it in like the main chat area.
Yep, so just roll 4d4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Plus 4, so
Yep.
no, it was alright. 11.
Yeah, so you get 11 points of health back. I'll sort that out, that's fine. All right.
And I run back.
And you run back. Okay.
Yeah.
No worries. So that's your turn. Okay, Maynield. What would she do? Let's see. Okay, she's going to move on over to get a little bit of a look at what's going on, and looking over, she sees that it is a big fleshy unit. She turns around and goes, shoddy workmanship, and then she casts magic missile at 3rd level. Yep. Okay. And she also steps back to stay out of the way. She is quite seems to be not interested whatsoever in this golem. It's beneath her. Turtank, your turn.
I am thoroughly dazed, thoroughly pissed off, and just yell out, "Is that all you got?" and keep swinging.
All right.
That's my best bet.
No worries.
With advantage, reckless,
Yep, sure.
and throwing down.
Alrighty.
Booga booga.
That's a hit.
That's a miss.
That's a hit.
A hit.
Yeah, it's a hit.
Okay.
Okay. And your second attack. Oh, and I need to add 3 onto that for your rage. Okay. Yep. Okay. And your damage. It's a hit.
Get him.
Okay.
I'm
Oh
behind you,
god.
Vondruxillia.
Oh god, he didn't die.
Run out of the way!
If I retreat, does he get 3 attacks or 1?
Well, he'll get an attack, potentially an attack of opportunity.
Which is 1.
But that's 1 attack, and then it'll be his turn.
Yeah, so he'll chase. Okay. I take 1 step back and to the left, so he would have to run in between us to get at me. He'd have to run past the other 2 to attack me.
Okay, so are you talking about being up there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they both have a chance to attack him if he comes after me.
All right. So it's actually going to reach out and try and grapple you.
Instead of attacking.
That's what it's trying to do. So roll me a strength check. Yeah, check.
Oh dear.
Okay. So yeah, it reaches out just as you go to run away and grabs you with like an iron-like grasp, preventing you from running, preventing you from moving. Your speed is 0.
Okay. I spit some blood on its face. Not that it would care if it has a face.
Oh, it's got a face. Its face is, hideously stitched together, but yeah, it's got a face.
Good. Well, now I spat blood on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
No worries. Yeah, it's turn, and it's going to, while holding you with its left arm, it's going to attempt to punch you with his right. That's a hit.
Oh god.
Yeah. Now, oh, sorry, I need to reduce that. So that's reduced to 4. So. Okay. And then, yeah, it will try to swing at you again, I guess. it can't move through the doorway with you there. So, and that's a miss.
How did it miss?
Yeah. Okay, so
Wiggling.
yeah, so because it's attacking you with advantage as well, because you reckless attacked. Yeah. Okay. So Vondruxillia, your turn.
Alright, I'm gonna stand behind Turtank facing the flesh golem.
Yep.
And because I have the, what's that? Ability, is it? It's the... Can't remember which one it is, but basically I can cast Gust of Wind and not have Turtank affected by it. I forget what cool thing it is because of it, but I know that's a thing.
Yep. So you basically you have shape spell. Now shape spell only works for evocation spells.
Oh,
so
Gust of Wind is an evocation. Hey.
Yeah. Okay. The other thing you do have is actually I might have to double check that. But the other thing you do have is spell sniper. So you can cast spells through hard to reach spaces. So you could cast
sure,
a spell
but I'm also
at the
trying to
flesh golem.
affect the fact that a melee character is trying to attack Turtank.
Yeah.
That's kind of like my big thing right now.
No, that's cool. I'm just sort of reminding you of what you've got.
Okay, no, that's cool. But basically, yeah, I want to do Gust of Wind, save Turtank from it, and just try to get the flesh golem. So, what do I have to do here? Do I just push cast?
Let's have a look. See.
Oh, there we go. Cool.
Yeah. No. Okay, so you cast it, but because you didn't have the thing targeted, it didn't do the automatic check. So just roll it. Just drag that cast button straight onto the flesh golem.
Cool.
There we go.
There we go.
So yeah, it failed. Now, what's the effect of that spell? So you currently have a strong wind 60 feet long and 10 feet wide blasting out from you. So...
It gives Turtank a chance to escape when he needs to, so...
When he needs to.
Oops, not right, but yeah, you get the idea.
He just gets pushed against the wall, basically, like...
Yeah. Okay, so, gets pushed 15 feet back. So, yeah, he is currently slammed against the wall. Now, I'm pretty sure there is a thing about that. Nope, there isn't. Okay. No worries. Cool. So, yeah, you currently have him slammed up against the wall, and every foot of movement now costs him 2 feet to be able to move. So, for him to get back to Turtank, that would cost him 20 feet of movement. All right. Yeah. Okay. So now it's Maynild's turn, and she is going to. What is she going to do? I think she's going to cast Magic Missile again. Thing. Alrighty, yep. So, yeah, she's, still unimpressed. Turtank, your turn.
Drinking a potion is a full action.
Yes.
I'd rather just kill this thing, so I'll throw some axes at.
Throwing your axes at it?
I have 2 throwing axes.
Yep, okay.
Oh, there's rage as an action. I'm gonna do it. May I try 1 second? Did that work? Anyway, I don't know where my... Oh yeah, hand axes up the top.
Yep.
Alright, and I can't do those with advantage because that's a melee thing, the reckless thing.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, throwing axe.
First one. That's a hit. And your damage, that's 8. Does still add your rage damage to it, so that's an extra 3.
Nice. Alright, second axe.
Yep. That's 18. That's a hit.
23.
23 to hit, yep. 18 on the roll.
1!
Well, 3 damage plus 3, so 6. So,
Nice. And I back it out.
No, that's not right. There we go.
Alright, and now I literally leg it as far as I can get away from the golem
Yeah.
so that I can just down a potion on my next turn.
okay, well, which direction do you want to go?
Back the way we came, just in
Okay.
case there's something we haven't seen yet the other way.
Alright, so you can move 40 feet. So just move yourself to where you want to be 40 feet away.
Is that about right?
That's 35 feet.
That'll do.
Yep, okay, no worries.
Okay.
Um,
And bonus action? No. No, I'm good. Okay.
Okay, no worries. So the flesh golem is going to move on forward. It does actually needs to roll a strength save. Which it fails.
Yes.
So
stays there.
I think it actually gets knocked prone. Let me just double check that. I'm not 100% sure. Gust of wind. Or be pushed 15 foot away. No, okay, so it doesn't get knocked prone, but it is still firmly pushed up against the wall. So it's going to move forward. It can move 30 feet normally, so that would be 15 feet. So it will get straight up to you. Actually, I also need to do this. Wow. And yeah, it is definitely running berserk. You can see this thing is like, very agitated, flailing around wildly.
I'm dead.
And yep, so it is going to attack at you, Vondruxillia. That's 1 hit and 2 hits. And that's the first hit. And that's the second hit. Yeah, so it's and I need you to wait, is Gust of Wind concentration? I think it is. Where is it? Gust of wind, gust
It's
of
concentration, yeah.
wind. Yep, okay, so I need you to roll me a what's that? A constitution save. Constitution save. Yep, so that's a save.
Cool. Sweet.
Alright. And now it's your turn, Vondruxillia. What do? You got this thing wailing on you. It's quite angry, quite pissed off. It's still not making any noise, like at least nothing coherent. It's just sort of like, yeah, stomping away, just making physical noise more than anything else.
Okay. So, the creature takes. I might do. Oh, wait. What about this guy? So I might do. Because if I run away, he's going to attack me or kind of grab me.
Yeah, he gets an attack of opportunity.
So I'm going to do. Drop it and become fighting for the duration. So I mean, the gust of wind doesn't affect him anymore, right? But
No, it does still affect him. On the start of his turn, he'll have to roll.
right, okay. In that case, I'm gonna throw at him a the acid arrow.
Okay, so you are using a ranged spell attack in melee range, so that attack roll will be at disadvantage.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Well then.
Does spell sniper counteract that?
No, spell sniper allows you to snake it in and around people and things. What you're thinking of is warcaster.
Well, how about I just use I'll use. Choose a. I'll just use I'll use shatter instead.
Okay.
So I'll do shatter. How do I do this? So I go. So I guess I gotta put a cast. Do I cast it on the flesh golem? Is that what I do? Sweet. And then I gotta do damage, or do you have to do the save first?
So when you did that, it automatically did the save. The golem
Right.
succeeded on its save. So.
But it succeeded.
yeah.
So that when I roll the damage, it'll just halve it automatically.
Yeah, it should do. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it sure did. Yeah. So you.
Only damage 5.
Yeah. So you a loud shattering noise rings out, and the stitches on the golem seem to like start to pop, and then almost like a runaway train, the stitches continue popping as the mass and heavy weight of the golem starts to tear itself apart. And yeah, we're out of combat. You managed to kill the thing.
Okay. I'm gonna see if there's anything useful on the troll flesh golem thing.
Yeah, so the flesh golem was basically it was wearing a pair of boots and a pair of like really cruddy, torn apart pants. It had nothing on it.
Yeah. Okay, well I'm going to explore the room it just came from.
All right, so you head on into the room. You can see that there is a.
Before I go in, I yell at a Turtank, the coast is clear.
Okay.
I fall down on top of the dead, fleshy thing to see if it's a good pillow and try to get some rest to get some health points back.
Okay, so in the room you find a fairly large bed. It's nothing overly impressive. It is not particularly comfortable. The legs are a little bit damp. The edges of the blanket sort of like touching a little bit of the water, so the edges of the blanket is damp. The pillows themselves smell a little bit like mildew, but compared to the rest of the surroundings, it's really quite nice. You also find a large chest. The chest itself isn't locked. You can tell that because it's sitting partially open. There's like a blanket or a cloak or something like that hanging out and sort of like keeping the chest partially open. Aside from that, there's nothing really else in the room.
Check the chest.
Okay, so looking in the chest, you find that it would have been a nice blanket once upon a time, but it's ruined. There's holes in it everywhere. It's not in a particularly good state. But you do find like a bunch of pouches floating around in the bottom of the thing, and a small case that contains 6 potions. The potions, the case itself does have imagery of water and someone breathing water kind of etched into the leather. The leather itself is a little bit mildewed, but otherwise, intact. And yeah, that's the thing there.
Okay. So
You also notice that the all the pouches themselves have a Desshard's name engraved into the leather or stitched into the material. The pouches contain a whole bunch of gems. They've all been color coded.
And that's what the little note just came up with?
Yep, so if you click on that, it'll open it up and you can drag and drop everything into your inventory if that's what you're doing.
Okay.
Yeah, so you guys are all in there. Maynard comes
So
in.
we'll split that then between me and Turtank the gems, or that's just
That's up to you. It's entirely up to you.
You can cast it to be involved with numbers right now. I just want to sleep on the corpse or in the bed. I don't care.
So yeah, I mean, I guess we do kind of need to rest.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, I've looked to Turtank and I look to Mountain and I say, look, we're pretty hurt. Let's have a sleep on this nice, comfy bed.
Which you know that you wouldn't actually be able to sleep. You've only been awake for like half an hour.
A rest.
Yeah, you could have a rest, but yeah, you wouldn't be at a point that you could sleep. But yeah, so you're planning on taking a short rest. Maynard turns around and says, looks at you both and kind of just sort of shakes her head and says, "Well, when the help is in need of help, there's nothing else for it. Fine, I'll take first watch. You guys do what you need to do." But yeah, so I'm guessing you close the door, or?
Yeah, probably a good idea.
All right, yeah. So you close the door and you just take a moment and settle down and whatnot. I'll get you all to roll me a perception check.
Perception. Oof, that's not good. I got 9.
Alright, and Turtank?
Blah.
Okay. Fair enough. A couple of times you hear people walking around, but no one seems to come in here. You do hear a bit of a kerfuffle when they find the blood stains and everything else outside from the other thugs that you guys beat down. And you hear someone say, "Maybe they're in Desshard's room." But someone else pipes up and says, "Don't be mad. You go in there, you're going to get your ass kicked. Fuck that." And
On that note, could really use a bathroom break.
yep, that's fine. So yeah, pretty much you guys will get the your short rest, but yeah, you do hear a few things. So
Okay. And short
You're
rest.
back.
What kind of health do we gain from that again?
short rest, you can roll your hit dice up to as many as you have.
Sorry, the what dice?
Your hit dice.
Oh. That's the thing that has the numbers. Ow! Jesus.
Yeah.
That's the thing
So
that has a
you've got 6 hit dice. You can roll as many of them as you want to recover as much health as you would like.
Woohoo!
It's a good roll. And it
Really good roll.
automatically calculates that, which is handy.
Oh, awesome. Oh my god! Okay, one more. Oh. No, one more. Yeah. Yeah, it's not a terrible place to be at.
I mean, it's up to you. You regain half your total hit dice on a long night's rest.
I do?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know how much more we're gonna need. Yeah, sweet, I'll leave. That's fine.
Okay.
I'm on light. I can do light.
So yeah,
Is that right?
you can roll as many of the hit dice as you want while you're like as many that you've got basically.
Keep rolling. Come on. Hey.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Nah. We come across
Oh,
another.
there you go.
Yeah,
That's
come across another
perfect.
golem. I want to be ready.
No worries. Yeah, so Maynard, after a while, it's sort of like getting close to an hour.
I'm just gonna do one more because I'm greedy.
Fair enough. She looks at you two and says, "Well, are we ready to keep going?"
Keep your socks on, love.
She can open the next door.
Okay, so yeah, what are you guys up to?
We're gonna poke our heads out. Well, I'm gonna poke my head out. I don't know what the hell Turtank's doing. Probably gonna like crash through it. But I just want to make sure the coast is clear first.
All right, roll me a perception check.
Both of us?
Anyone that's looking out to get an idea on what's going on.
That's me. So, yeah.
All
Got
right.
18.
Yeah, looking around, the coast seems pretty clear. The bodies that were there from the 3 guys that you guys brutally murdered, they're missing.
In defense. But anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, the hallway is yours. What are you guys up to? You do see that there is a doorway a little bit further down to your left. And yeah, the tunnels themselves do, it does continue on.
Okay,
So-
well, I'm gonna take the lead on this door. Just because when Turtank opened the last door, he almost died. So I'm gonna lay my bear trap in front of the door. And
Okay.
then I'm gonna reach over and just like kind of push the door open and see what happens. While
Alright.
screaming, is it? Or yelling, going quietly, is anybody in there? And then push the door open.
Alright, so you push the door open. Let me try that again. Let me try that again. And yeah, so you push open the door and you can see a badly beaten and manacled woman, shackled to the bed. The bed sheets and blanket and everything else is completely caked in this woman's blood. It looks like someone's worked over her a few times. She's unconscious.
Right. So there's no danger, I'm assuming.
No, you can't see anything else in there that would be a threat. She's completely unconscious.
Throw away the bear trap. Cool. Go inside and then cautiously go inside, check there's no one, behind the wall or anything, and kind of walk up to her and be like, are you alive? Hello?
Roll me a charisma check. Charisma check. I'm guessing, Turtank, you're moving in?
Yep.
Charisma. There it is. I think that's charisma. It is now. Oh, wow.
Okay.
I just terrify this poor person.
Yeah, so she kind of wakes up with a start and sees you
Dragon.
and kind of flinches away, and then goes to open her mouth and then turns her head and spits out a massive gob of blood. You're actually kind of surprised that she didn't choke on it in her sleep. But yeah, she can't move far from the bed. She's chained to it, both ankles and hands. And she looks at you a bit concerned, but very defiant at the same time.
Shadows can't hold me down, kind of thing.
Yeah, she's looking at you like expecting to get roughed up again, and obviously doesn't want to be roughed up, but is not in the slightest bit
Gonna show any weakness or
Yeah,
anything like
yeah.
that. Yeah, I get the idea. Cool. Oh, whoa. No, I just want to see if you're okay. Sorry, I know I can be a bit much to look at the first time. Hey, I'm Vondruxillia. This is Turtank.
Hello.
Some Mayan lead thing.
Ignore her, she's rude.
Yeah, she's cool.
Manild.
Manild, sorry. Hey, I'm Vondruxillia. Not gonna hurt you. Just trying to figure out if you're cool or not because we're trying to get out of here.
She frantically looks around, and seems to be taking stock of her situation. She's seems pretty unsure of you, but yeah, she turns around. She says to you, "Who are you? Who are you from?"
Who am I from?
Yes.
I'm from me. I don't know what you mean.
You're new. Okay. What about you, big man? Who are you from?
I'm from here. I was one of the pirate lads, and we helped make this place. And my memory's a bit fuzzy. It might be too much punching with that flesh golem thing. You know anything about that?
At first, like, her eyes go a little bit wide when you say that you're from here and you helped make this place. But she hears you, say about the flesh golem, and she just has a very confused look on her face, and looks over at Maynield and says, "I hope you can make some sense. What? Where are you? Who do you represent?" And Maynield steps forward and says, "Oh, I know you. What are you doing here?" She's like, and the woman in the bed says, "Well, I'm a prisoner, like, come on." And Maynield takes another step forward and says, "This one's Salty's girl. Fornelin, wasn't it?"
Ah,
Fornelin looks over and sort of nods and says, "Yeah. Are you operating on behalf of the originals? Who are you working for?" And Maynield says, "Well, I'm technically working for the captains, but, well, we shall see. These two are idiots, but I don't know."
I look between them two and I go, "Well, we're not idiots. We got through this thing. We killed a flesh golem. We're not idiots at all."
Yeah, it's the flesh golem of poor quality and poor craftsmanship.
We should have left it locked in a cell.
Yeah, I'm really rethinking that plan.
Well,
Oh, right. Well, this one probably needs a bit of rest. Looking a bit bashed, so how about we just unchain you and you can come with us if you want, or you could stay here and have a nap.
there's no fucking way I'm staying in here. Jeez.
There we
What?
go.
Okay, so are we unclasp her?
All right. So the manacles themselves are.
Is this the bard person? No.
This is Fornelin, the bard. Yes.
Yeah, it is bard. Cool. You're
Yeah.
the bard. We've been looking everywhere for you.
You've been looking for me?
Yes.
Who sent you?
Like Chenner and Salty and Isul and all those people.
Isul?
Everyone's been looking for you.
I have information. You need to get me to Isul as quick as you can.
Excellent. You will join our party after I loot this chest at your beds.
Well, you've got to get these manacles off me. They're
Oh, I thought I did that. Yes.
No, they are locked. So, and they're
yes.
iron manacles. So,
Ooh. Is there a key in the room I can see? In the chest? Anywhere like that?
so the room itself is fairly barren. There's the bed, and it's nowhere near as nice as the previous bed. It is obviously blood stained. The mattress itself is partially soaked through, and you can see that Fornelin's clothes are not only mixed with blood, but there's also like a heap of water that's soaked into them. The whole room just smells like it's been closed up for a very long time, and you can kind of smell like a little bit of a putrid tang in it. It's a little bit concerning, but yeah. The chest itself is pretty plain. There isn't much in it. Opening it up, you find 3 extra set of manacles, a random bowl, a completely water-damaged book, a blanket that looks like it's probably seen about 5 better days, a belt with the tongue broken, a mottled and kind of rotting bedroll, and an empty backpack.
Okay, so basically nothing really useful.
There is nothing really useful in here.
Can I go around and just see if there are like any loose rocks on the walls where they might have hidden a key behind a rock?
Sure, roll me an investigation check.
Skills, investigation. Oh, I've got good investigation. Let's see if I roll good. Nah, nat 1.
Okay. Yeah, so with a nat 1 and a total roll of 8, looking around, there are a couple of loose rocks, but nothing that is hiding anything.
Okay. Well, they were my ideas, so how are we going to get these manacles off here?
Well,
I hold up my axe and I smile.
Probably would avoid the axe on the manacle part.
the Fawnland turns around and says, "Come on, big man, just get it done."
You have a what?
Do it.
Give it a go. Give it a go.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
Sure.
We're doing it.
So, just roll me 2 attacks. The way these manacles are done, they're like long chain manacles, and they're looped around a section of the top and the bottom of the bed.
Quick question while he's doing that.
Yeah.
After a short rest, do I recover any spells?
No.
No. Cool. Never mind.
Okay. Yeah. So the first swing, you miss the chain itself, holding her legs together, but you cleave through the section of the bed that is holding it, and she is able to pull her legs sort of free. Your second swing manages to cleave through the chain. It's a bit uneven, but yeah, you cleave through the chain, and she frees herself. So she grabs a hold of the chain that's sort of like holding her legs together, and grabs a section of her shirt, tears it free, and then ties the chain so it's sort of up and then held up around her belt, so the chain is not going to get in the way of her moving around. And the other chain, the long section of chain, she just wraps around her arm, and says, "All right, well, look, just give me a second." And technically, she should have less health than that, but
During this, I kind of want to go up to her and just like poke her in the forehead and just look at her like weirdly, intensely, and just be like, "Sorry, but the last one of you turned into a doppelganger, and I just want to be sure."
Yeah, so she sees the finger coming, and like she pulls her head back and goes, "The fuck are you doing?" And then when you say that, she's like, "Oh, yes, well, you've been to my house then. Hope you didn't take
it's alright,
anything."
my spider's got her.
Well, that's nice. Anyway, look, I don't know where my gear is. It doesn't really matter. I just need to get this information back to Isiul and Chenna, and Salty's probably worried sick. It's been days. Absolutely days.
It's been a few days, that's for sure.
Well, I hope everything's okay, but come on, the sooner we're out of here, the better. And yeah, so she gets up off the bed and sort of like starts heading towards the door. Like, she seems determined just to see the back of this place.
Cool. I guess we're walking down, and I still have my little cloth of light.
Yep.
Cool. So yeah, we're walking down the tunnel.
Alright, so as you're walking on down, you very close by find a side path. And the side path, Fornalin seems pretty concerned about. She looks down there and, kind of like motions for you guys to keep going. She seems pretty intent not to go that way. For what reason, you don't know. There is a door open, and you can see that there is lights on inside. Down there, like it's a fairly well lit room, especially compared to the rest of the complex.
I lean over to Fornalin and be like, "Is there something we shouldn't know about that area?"
Interrogation room.
Oh, yep, cool. Doesn't sound like a thing we really need to bother ourselves with.
I've spent enough time in there to not want to go back, if you don't mind.
Completely reasonable.
Well, let's keep on going then, I suppose. So yeah, you continue along the tunnel. Are you guys trying to be stealthy, or what are you trying to do?
Yeah, sure. Let's do stealth.
Alright, roll your stealth checks.
I stepped in a bucket.
It's always handy.
Mm-hmm.
I made a swoosh face.
No, I'm jumping in puddles now. I've taken on the Turtank puddle jump.
Okay, so walking along, you're all pretty quiet, but Maniel keeps talking. She's like, "Look, Fornalin, well, how deep in this place are we? Where are we?" And Fornalin keeps like trying to motion for her to be quiet, but doesn't seem to be phased. She's quite content to just do her own thing. As you continue on up, you get to. I'll just do it like this. Bugger it. You get to a T intersection. And oops, let me grab the token. You get to a T intersection, and roll me perception checks.
What is it with me and fours? I got 6.
Call me Professor Turtank.
Okay, Turtank, you can hear some shuffling of leathers just around the corner. Sounds like it's coming from the right. You can also hear a quiet voice saying, "I think they're coming. I think they're coming." What do you do?
Oh,
I hold up a fist to tell everyone to wait, and I turn to Vondruxillia and I whisper, "Bear trap."
I give Turtank my bear trap.
No, set up.
Oh,
the
okay.
bear
You want me to set? Okay, go. I don't know where. I have no perception.
trap. Well, that's okay. We put it right in front of
Okay,
us.
sure.
Well, I point.
That's like a
I
great
point
idea.
right in front of us.
We'll put the bear trap right in front of us.
Okay. So right dab smack in the middle. Is it going to be?
I mean, I don't know where the T section is. I don't know which direction they're coming from.
There. Oh, sorry.
We're going to bring them to us.
Yeah, no, I get they're coming to
Yeah.
us, but I don't know from which direction.
From the right.
the right,
Turtank
then-
heard.
Yeah, so then we'll put it to the right.
Okay.
Okay, so I think they're coming to us, and so I signal for everyone to hide against the walls, and once we trap one, we can ambush them and start firing attacks.
Okay.
Okay. So just position yourself as you will. I'll move these guys out of the way and they'll fill in wherever. Just try not to sit on the half squares. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're trying to be stealthy, and as soon as someone gets caught in the bear trap or tries to walk past us, then we gank them.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right. Well, maybe
I'm not really stealthy, am I? Not really.
not in the slightest.
Not in the slightest. Okay, I might. Like, I'll go on top of this one. Is that okay?
I'd probably, if you want to go there, I'll just move Fawnline out of there. That's fine.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think they wanted to be like in front of us.
No. So, okay, so you're being quiet and waiting, and it takes a while. And Turtank, you're listening out, and after a while, you hear someone say, "Are they coming or what? What's going on?" And you hear another guy say, "Shut up. Just watch." A third one turns around and says, "Look, this is dumb. I'm going back to the mess tent." And one of the thugs, might help if they're visible, starts moving along. And actually, let's have a quick look and see. Bug ball. So he gets to here and looks down and spots the bear trap and kind of just like cocks his head to the side like, what? And then kind of looks up and sees you all. What are you doing?
I say run.
So, cool. I go, surprise!
Roll me initiative.
Nothing else to do. Like.
Yeah.
So you passed our test and you can join our gang.
We tried.
No. Yeah. Initiative. Okay then. Turtank, it appears that it is your turn first up.
Don't run on the bear trap.
I am absolutely infuriated that my cunning plan and my teamwork have both let me down. And so I go into a tanty.
Okay.
Just a big old rage.
A ragey tanty, okay?
Tanty ragey. Did that?
No. It's alright. I'll just keep track of it, it's fine. Yeah, so you're raging. What are you doing?
I stand on the other side of the bear trap.
Move yourself into place, yep.
So I take 2 running strides and then I throw a hand axe at.
Okay.
Oh, it says out of that.
Yeah, you've got your... You didn't check them back off. We didn't actually go through and say you pick them back up, but you've got a... On your actions, where it's got ammo, you got 2, and then you got 2 little circles with ticks. Take them off, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do it.
Sweet. And now I throw an axe at.
Okay.
On the person. There we go.
That's a hit.
That's definitely a hit.
Roll your damage.
Nope.
And then we add 3.
That's not a good day.
And then a miss. Okay.
Hang on, what?
You missed on your second roll.
Okay.
Okay, no worries. And you're staying there?
And then I flip him the bird. Oh wait, no. My bonus action was raging. Never mind.
Okay. So this guy comes running on over and looks down, sees the situation at hand, pulls up his crossbow, and attacks at you. That's a hit. Okay, so that's a 3 reduced to 1. So you take 1 point of damage.
I laugh at him.
That's a really crappy roll. Yeah, and now it is Fornalin's turn. So she steps forward and she's not equipped with anything, right? So, but
Never tried it.
she looks out and ooh, you know what? Let's have a quick look and see if this will even work. Okay, so she starts waving her hands around, and you watch as a magical hand comes up out of the ground, picking up the bear trap, thrusting it towards thug number 4.
Yes!
Oh, how am I going to even work this out?
Bear trap!
Alright, let's do this. Let's do... Oh, yeah, so, the thug sees this hand coming and instinctively, like, moves his body out of the way, and the bear trap, goes, oh, give me the right tool. No. Give me the right tool. Come on, let me move it. Come on. Give me the tool. Let me move the damn thing. And yeah, the bear trap goes flying off behind him, scattering, like hitting the deck, and then triggering on the floor. Fornlin just shrugs and says, "Well, it was worth a try," and kind of takes a step back. Vondruxillia, your turn.
Oh, cool. Okay, so I'm gonna shoot my firebolt at the one that Turtank threw, number Thug 4.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's do firebolt. Oops, that's not it. This guy. A hit.
Yeah. Roll your damage.
Roll that damage.
Yeah, so
Yes!
that firebolt just like punches in and starts cooking one of his lungs, and sort of like he coughs and splutters, staggering down, falling back.
Into the bear trap.
Yeah, the bear trap's triggered. The bear trap's triggered, but yeah, he's he falls back down. There's no fight left in him. He looks. You're watching the color and life drain from him. He's just slowly dying.
Excellent. And I will, because I don't think I can shoot at the other guy because it's kind of a wall in the way. So
Yeah,
I'll
you wouldn't be
move-
able to see him from there.
I'll move one spot down to the left from Turtank so I have a better vision.
Yeah,
What's
okay.
happening. So I'll... Do you want me to do it?
Yeah, move it.
Yep, so cool, yep. Cool. Oh, whoops, no. There we go. Cool.
Yep, no worries. And thug number 4 is dead. So let's just get rid of him. Maynield. She takes a couple of steps forward and sees what's going on. She casts magic missile. Mage armor on herself again. She just humps like, I've got no time for this. And yeah, that's her turn. Now this guy comes roaring out and races over towards you, and
He came out of the wall!
no,
Yep.
he come out from behind. There's area you couldn't see. And yeah, so he's swinging his longsword, and he attacks at you twice. That's one hit. That's a critical hit. Oh dear. Okay, so and that was alright, so that's the first one, and then alright, so I need to half that. So 13, half 6, and 4 is 10. So 8. And then 18. Alright. Yeah, and he's sort of, this guy looks pretty pissed off. He's like, yeah, you're gonna break out of the cells, we're gonna get ya. Turtank, your turn.
I say pretty sword, and I start swinging.
Alright.
Straight ass, blah 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 blah. With advantage, reckless attack.
Okay. Okay, so that's
Oh
a
my
hit.
God, the first one was a 1.
Yeah.
Alrighty, damage.
Yep. Okay, and I add 3 onto that.
Second attack,
Yep.
advantage. 20!
Nice.
Critical
Critical
hit.
hit effect. Okay. Alright, so you do 2 standard critical hits to the target. So roll your damage.
Normal damage.
Yep. Alright.
Whoa.
Now, roll it again and we'll just double it.
Jesus.
It's 8. So 16. So you did 39 points of damage.
Oh, and I get a bonus attack because when I get a crit.
Just
I get
a
bonus.
second. Let me just add this in. Okay.
Calm
'cause,
down.
because I've got to add another 8. All right, roll again.
Aye.
Go your next attack. That's another hit.
At the ladder.
Yeah. So you so with your first hit, you cleave down deftly to his left. He takes a hit and sort of like rolls with it. You bring the axe back up, cleave down with your to the right hand side, scoring a devastating, biting cut deep into through his right hand shoulder. Left hand shoulder towards the center of his chest. He looks really poor condition at this point. Then you retract the axe and swing it across, lopping the guy's head clean from his shoulders. He falls down, a spurt of blood fountaining out from the stump of his throat. He is dead. That leaves Thug 3. He's looking at this and goes, "Oh, hell no," and just dashes.
May I give chase?
On your turn, you may.
Damn it.
Alright. Fordelin. It's her turn. She goes, "Oh no, he's getting away!"
Kill.
And looking out, she ooh. No, it's too far away. Let's see. Okay. Um. Okay. So she starts whispering and calling him names from where she is, and unleashes quite a barrage of some pretty foul comments, and you hear him sort of like grunt from further away. But yeah, that's his turn. Well, that's her turn. Vondruxillia, your turn.
Cool. So I'm gonna, go up. So I'm gonna just go here.
Okay. So you see. Okay. Yep. So you see him sort of running away. What do you do?
Hang on, where is... Okay, he's over there. I'm gonna throw a firebolt at him.
Okay.
Yeah, that's within range. We've got a huge range on that one.
Yep.
So, firebolt. Oops. Yep,
That's a hit.
Let's see if I can end him. Critical.
Okay, so yeah, he's looking pretty badly beaten. Now it's Maynild's turn. Maynild sort of comes forward. She looks over at the situation. And she she's going to cast Magic Missile at... Ooh. She's going to cast it at a 3rd level.
Boom.
Yeah. He just, like, as he's running along, he falls to the ground, like, just skidding as the arcane bolts slam into his back. Yeah, laying motionless. He is done and dusted. Yeah, that takes us out of initiative. Okay.
I cheer and I put my hand up for a high five from Maynild.
Manuel just looks at you and says, "Come along, we don't have time, children."
But you left me hanging.
Well, if we hang around, we probably will be left hanging. Let's go.
I want to loot the veteran. I want the sword and whatever else he's got that's worth
So,
keeping.
yeah,
I'm
so
also gonna grab my bear trap.
so you grab your bear trap. The veteran himself, he's carrying a short sword and a long sword. There doesn't seem to be anything particularly fancy about it, but yeah, that's what he's carrying, and he's wearing splint mail that you've well and truly destroyed. Other than that, he doesn't appear to have much in the way of personal effects.
Fair. So the longsword wasn't special.
No.
Very well. Well then, I just spit on him and I get my axes back out of the other guy. I pick up the bear trap and...
Vondruxillia picked up the bear trap already, but yeah.
Very well. Then
My bear trap.
I say, what's next? I'm hungry.
So yeah, you can either go left or you can go right.
Ooh. So, can we see a little bit more of what's over to the right? Is there anything happening over there?
Nothing really out of the ordinary. It's just honestly a... just a continuation of the tunnel.
Yeah. So, I mean, if I'm gonna think logically, somebody would generally run towards where they will find salvation or help. Same thing. But yeah, basically, if this guy's running over this way, I assume he's running to where there are more people like him. That's just my best idea of the situation right now. So we can either go towards the way he was running, which might get us in the way of more people, or we can try our luck with the right. What do you guys think?
Where do you think the food is?
Well, probably where the other people are, which is to the left.
That's where we're going!
Uh,
And I take 3 steps in that direction.
Okay, so you're heading towards the left, no worries. Yeah, so as you continue along, you see that this is sort of like a fairly large sort of area. The area itself, it's nothing really out of the ordinary. It's just a large expanse of a room. You do see off to the to your left as you come down, there is a door. It's a large banded door. It looks a little bit more sturdy and a little bit stronger. Yeah, that's what you see.
Shall we check the door? Do we want the bed trap in front of it? Maybe yes, no. Well,
Yes.
Turtank's already inside, so. Sweet, so
What? I'm hungry.
we'll do the same thing. I'll lay the bear trap out and then.
All right. So you lay it out. You open the door. No, don't want to do that one. You open it up and you see a very large sort of room that has a number of doors in it and an incredibly large fire set in a stone brazier. The brazier itself looks like it's big enough to be a fire pit in its own right. The room has 6 doors that you can see. And yeah. The doors are all barred. They and the doors themselves have different shapes colored on them. So
Okay.
there is one with a green triangle, one with a yellow pentagon, one with a blue square, one with a white diamond, one with a black circle, and one with a red oval.
Grab my bear trap as we walk inside.
Yep, and around the base of the stone fire pit, you can see that there is like stone carving of the words "Fire illuminates the shadows," carved repeatedly around the base of the fire pit. Now, the fire itself doesn't give off any heat, but it looks like a raging inferno.
Fire illuminates the shadows. Alright. Are there any other, like, mounds or anything like that within the room? Like, any kind of, like, bits of, like, like, rocks stacked on top of each other? Like, anything like that in the room?
Nope, it's a pretty open and vacant room. It looks like a natural stone chamber. The only features of note are the doors and this fire itself.
Right, and the door that we just came through?
Yep.
I look back, is there anything along the door frame of note?
No, that one is just a banded iron door mounted into the rough stone walls that are common as far as construction inside this complex.
Okay, and when you say the doors are barred, does that mean you can see through it and it's barred?
No,
or
no,
it's
like there
door and it's barred?
is a big crossbar that's down and locking the door in place.
And it's the same barring for each door?
Yeah,
There's
nothing
Okay.
different really between them. Like there's minor variations, but nothing nothing more obvious than just the differences in construction.
Alright, I'm going to take a wild guess, and you said there's a one at the triangle, you said?
Yeah.
Were they coloured as well?
Yeah, they're all coloured. So there's a green triangle, a yellow pentagon, a blue square, a white diamond, a black circle, and a red oval.
I'm gonna be really annoying and ask you just to repeat that. I just want to write that in my notes. So green triangle,
Yep.
white
Tell you
square.
what. I'll tell you what.
Oh, here we go.
There
Awesome.
you go. Oh, never mind.
Do it. Aw. No. So green triangle. Green triangle.
Hold on. I
Okay.
will just
These
get
are
rid of the.
things we shouldn't have seen.
There we go.
Cool.
And just for the record, Maniel told you that.
Sweet. Thanks, Neil. Okay, so green triangle, yellow pentagon, blue square, white diamond, black circle, red oval. Cool. So I'm gonna inspect the. I don't know. I'm gonna look at everybody and be like, anybody have any idea what to do here? If not, I'm just gonna start looking at doors, see if there's like. There's nothing really to look at with them, but fire illuminates the shadows. Anyone have an idea what that means?
Maniel sort of just shakes her head and says, "This is so beyond me, so beneath me, and I am so not
It's
interested."
beneath, not beyond. Okay.
And Fornelin says, "Oh, well, I know of doors that have got the shapes on them, but I don't know anything about them. I don't know where they go, or don't know how to open them. I don't know. No one knows anything about them."
I go back to the door we came through,
Yep.
and I try to rip it off the hinges and bring it closer to the fire to see if anything happens.
Okay, roll me a strength check.
While he's doing that, I'm going in front of the blue square door because I'm blue and
Yep.
putting my hands up like a square and making a shadow on the door and seeing if that opens it. Just as an idea.
I rolled the one.
Like you make a shadow.
So, yeah, you grab a hold of the door and you strain and you stretch and you flex and you groan and the door's staying still. You make shadows and you make some half-assed shadow animals on the door. Nothing seems to happen.
Nothing seems to happen. Cool. What if I knock on the door? Does anything happen?
So you knock on the door and it makes a loud knocking sound like you're knocking on a heavy door.
Okay. My other idea would be, it says the fire illuminates the shadows.
Yep.
So the fire is a magical fire. It's not hot, is it?
No, yeah, the fire doesn't give off any heat. Now, as an interesting point, while you're near the bars that are blocking off the door, you can feel heat emanating from the bar, and the closer you bring your hand or your body to those bars, the hotter it gets.
Oh.
And the fire also doesn't give off any smoke.
Interesting. What if I like completely throw a shadow on the door?
Yeah, so how are you going to cover the door in shadow?
Well, basically, I walk towards the fire because the fire is making the light.
Okay,
And,
right,
like,
yeah. So you walk towards the fire to block off the light, and yeah, the door gets covered by your shadow. Nothing seems to happen.
Can I ask someone to go see if the door's still hot? Like,
Sure can.
yeah. Turtank, go see if the door. Don't touch the door.
Oh.
Gently put your hand towards the door and see if it's still hot.
Okay, I go to the door closest to me and I do
No.
exactly-
The door I'm throwing a shadow on.
Ah.
Yeah, not just the door.
Yeah, so you do this, and yeah, the bar of the door is still incredibly hot.
Yeah. Okay.
Nothing seems to change.
Fire illuminates the shadow. I don't know. I reckon Maynhild is pretty full of shade, and if we put her in the fire,
She'll be
She-
less shady. Like
She raises her hands as if she's about ready to start casting.
what if we put the fire out?
Yeah, I mean, I also don't know how I feel about putting a fire out that's a magical fire in a room. Like, we don't really know the consequences. Like, it could work, but it could also, I don't know, but it could maybe, yeah. I mean, how would you put out a magical fire?
I unzip my trousers.
Can we like, yeah.
Fornalin says, well, I can give it a go. I don't know if it'll work or not. And she begins casting Dispel Magic on the fire. And after a moment, she finishes casting the spell on the fire, and the fire dims, and then sputters, and then goes out entirely. How long does your light spell last for again?
Only an hour, so I can
Okay,
recast
so yeah,
it.
you'd have to recast it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I now make Turtank a light.
Okay. So yeah, so you do this, and the fire is out, and Turtank emanating this light doesn't seem to have made much of a difference. The bars themselves on the doors aren't hot anymore, but
cool.
yeah, no other real difference.
Okay, so the bars are now not hot, so we can
Yeah.
touch them now.
Yeah.
Cool. And obviously, maybe we try to break the bars open.
Okay, so as you touch the bars, you get a sense that you could lift them to be able to open the doors, but yeah.
But
Do you want to do that? Which one?
okay,
What do you want
right,
to do? Yeah.
sweet, cool. Okay, sweet. Okay, so I turn to the group and I go, look, I'm pretty sure we can open these bars and go through these doors. Do we want to split up, stay together? Do we want to go through a door? Like, what are we doing here in this crazy magic fire room with 6 doors with shapes on it?
Fornalin says, look, I have no idea what this room is about. I have no idea. I don't know if these doors lead anywhere. I've seen doors elsewhere that have got these sorts of shapes on them, but no one's been able to open them before. I don't know what this is all about.
Okay.
Maynhild just sort of shrugs as if she doesn't care. She just wants to keep going. She's unimpressed with the whole situation. She just wants out.
Yeah. Okay, well, I turn to Turtank and I go, well, you're obviously happy to do whatever, Mr. Glowing Beacon. So let's go through a door. I like the color blue, so that will be my first choice. But, anybody else has another choice? Otherwise, we'll go through blue.
Blue door.
Blue door.
Blue door.
Yep.
Alright, so as you're heading past the fire pit, Turtank, just roll me a perception check real quick.
Oh, the fire pit. Fuck. Damn it.
Yeah, okay, so you head towards the door. You
Okay.
don't notice anything out of the ordinary. It's,
God damn
fire
it.
pit.
Okay. I guess it's... I want to get back and check it.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so...
Am I allowed to or not allowed?
What, go and check the fire pit? Yeah, no worries, go and check the fire pit.
Yay!
So,
Check the fire pit.
you get to the fire pit, and it's too dark to see anything. the room is
I can
completely...
just light myself up.
You could cast light on yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, so you cast light on yourself and the light dissipates off Turtank. And yeah, the fire pit looks exactly the same, it's just there's no fire in it.
Damn. Okay, cool, sweet. Okay, so go back to the door then, and let's go through it.
Okay, so you get to the door and you lift the bar, and you hear it sort of groaning and protesting about being open. But yeah, you open it up and open the door, and in opening the door, it creaks like it hasn't been opened in a very, very long time. You see a bit of a tunnel ahead of you. The tunnel sort of leads along. Walking down the tunnel for a while, you end up getting to a steady and gentle incline. And then eventually it gets to a spiraling staircase that's made out of like rusted, but not dangerously so, iron staircase. Staircase spirals on up, and it goes up for a little while. You imagine it's a pretty decent sort of lift up, and yeah, you follow that up, and you find yourself underneath a little hatch. And lifting the hatch, you start looking around, and the first thing you notice is the smell. You can smell burnt flesh and just a general smell of fire, both active and like burnt to smolder. And beginning to open up this hatch, you get a bit of ash drift down through the hatch itself. And lifting it up, the hatch feels quite heavy, like there's something probably on top of it, but not so much that you can't lift it. You push and you stretch and you strain, and eventually the hatch pops open, and you find yourselves looking around. And at first, the area is quite alien. It's it looks like a massive inferno's come through and ripped everything to shreds. And then you start picking out a few details and other things, and you realize you know where you are, and Faunalyn knows where she is. Seems to react first. She kind of brings her hand to her mouth and sort of gasps. It's about at this point that Turtank and Vondruxillia, you both realize you're standing right next to what was the Hazy Purple Tavern. The tavern itself and surrounding buildings have gone up in flames and burnt to the ground. There is nothing left of the Hazy Purple Tavern except for the stone floor. The building itself is completely burnt away. Looking around and taking further stock, roll me perception checks, both of you, please.
Whoa, that was not a perception check. Whoa. Damn. I got 8.
What about Turtank?
He got 5, I guess? No.
That was
Oh, that was another one.
9. Okay. So you guys see, like, out the front of the Hazy Purple Tavern, which, you know what? Let's do it like this. So pretty much you guys are sort of like over here somewhere, right? You've come up right...
Oh, you did give us a map? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I think I closed it down. Let me, Is there a way? Oh, thank you.
So yeah, you're kind of where the A is for the tavern. It's a building that is adjacent, but not technically part of the tavern. And you're looking out, and you can see in this area in front of the tavern itself is littered with bodies. There are people that look like they are from the captains. There are people that look like Chenna's men. And there are patrons that you recognize from being inside the tavern. Faunalin moves forward and starts looking through all of the bodies to see if there's anyone she recognizes, and a few times she stops and sort of gasps and sighs. She looks like she's having a little bit of trouble dealing with this. She sees Chenna's men and shakes her head sadly, and she's heading slowly towards the entrance, or what would have been the entrance to the Hazy Purple Tavern, when she comes across a body and she just stops. You both look over and you kind of see this body, and the body is of a man. He's burnt badly and has 3 burnt crossbow bolts sticking out of his back. He's laying on his belly, his arms stretched out in front of him like he was running towards the entrance of the tavern. You realize that this was actually Salty.
Oh no, Salty!
His portly and generous, friendly face is burnt and covered in ash, and he is no more. And neither is the Hazy Purple Tavern. And the surrounding buildings, and looking up and taking stock of everything, you can see where this black squiggly line is around. All of those buildings are either completely burnt out or in flames. The whole area has suffered.
Wow. I guess I look around and I'm like, guys, is this real?
Manield shakes her head and says, "Look, I don't know who you all are. The captains definitely had their hand in this, and while I am a captain, I have no love for the captains. And I would get my vengeance, but you see, I look after me first and foremost."
How can you say that with all of this death around us?
Quite easily. I don't want to be one of the dead.
So you'd rather just hide?
No. I'd rather join the side that's going to win.
I have no words, and I just go through and try to see if there's any sign of life, which I know there isn't, but...
And as you're going through all of this, yeah, you definitely notice that there is no sign of life. But what you do notice is all of these bodies have been picked clean of anything valuable, and even everything like metallic. Right down to people's belt and boot buckles. There is nothing left. They have been so picked clean of anything valuable. You can see people that have got clear skin color changes from where they were wearing jewelry that has been taken, and you can see like empty scabbards and sheaths and all this sort of thing. And you also notice that a bunch of these patrons look like they were armed with nothing more than like tables and like broken chairs, and the positioning of them, it looks as if they were running out to defend someone. It's not a unrealistic idea to assume that they were running out to defend their favorite publican, Salty.
Yeah. Alright. I kind of like solemnly go next to Faunalin and give her a nod of, understanding that she's having a moment, and go, look, I know this is quite quite a travesty here, but I think it's best if we push on and get you to where we need to get you. If this is really where we are, we literally walk through a magical door. I can only assume we're back in town. Until I see proof otherwise, I think it's best we get you to the people we need to get you to.
She looks at you and says, What's happened since I've been gone?
I just respond, too much. Too much has happened, and there's been outbreaks of civil unrest, and a war has obviously broken out, and we probably need to get you quite urgently to the people that really need you right now.
Well, where is Isiul and Chenna? Where are they?
We'll take you to them now, if they're still there. I assume they're still where we left them, up near the mines.
Alright, well, lead on. Manield looks at you all and says, well, forgive me if I don't follow, but last I heard, we were moving on the quarry, and I thank you very much so for helping me, well, escape the originals. Their ambush on my shop was most unfortunate, and my capture even more so. Yes, I'm going to go.
Well, if you think the winning side's over that way, good luck, buddy.
Well, I hope you at least live, if not survive. Anyway, all the best.
Where am I gonna go for food and a bed now?
Like, where?
Manield turns and starts heading up the road towards the Cunning Corvette and the Docks District as a whole. You guys are free to do what you would like.
Cool, like, there would be a part of me that wants to kind of see what's happening over there, but if that's being overrun in, like, the docks area, that's run by the captains, right? So
yeah, so the docks is all operated by the captains, and Manield mentioned that the last she heard, they were moving on the quarry, which is directly out the front of the mine, and from what you guys had seen... from what you guys had seen as you were leaving the mine and the quarry, they were preparing for an attack.
We'll head over that way.
You also remember that Chenna had mentioned that it was probably going to be pretty hard to get back into the mine shortly because they were expecting a full-scale attack.
Yeah, well, it'd probably be worthwhile then trying to like do a detour via Odo's Forge.
Right.
And like try and go around that way along it, assuming that we'll find less resistance.
All right.
That way.
So the outline of what you've got to deal with. The only way that you can safely get into the quarry without sort of having to come up with a creative method of coming in over the sides is to basically go in through the foreman's office, because the quarry itself is basically dug out open cut mine.
Right.
So it's very sheer, steep walls. So those blue lines kind of outline the limits of the quarry. So if you were to go around that way, you'd probably be able to get an overview, but you'd be very exposed because everything's pretty flat and not necessarily have a way of getting down there. You would know this just from heading towards the...
Before.
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries, sweet. Okay, we'll do it that way then, go to the foreman's office. So, yeah, I guess we'll do a bit of a sneak and try to stealth our way over there. Obviously, I'm assuming there are more people around patrolling at some degree.
Yeah. All right, well, I'll tell you what. We'll leave it here for tonight, and we'll pick this up tomorrow with hopefully the rest of the group. So we'll see how this all pans out. Should be quite interesting. So what we'll do is I'll start with the other group. Like, I think you guys will probably end up meeting up pretty quickly, but we'll start with the other group and we'll see what they get up to, and then we'll jump across
Jump in.
yeah, go from there. So yeah, anyone that is still in the stream, I hope you have enjoyed this particular episode, and it's a bonus episode. This is to get Turtank and Vondruxillia back up to speed and back into the fray. As I mentioned, Mikey and Amelia have just come back from their holidays. So yeah, it should be fun, and yeah, we'll see you next session.
Thank you.
Not all.
Don't forget to smash that like button, and while you're down there, leave us a comment and subscribe.
Lion?
Don't forget to hit that bell button.
Yep, do that one.